Throughout the 6-season run of MTV's Teen Wolf from 2011 to 2017, there have been a number of alphas to appear on the show, from Peter Hale to Scott McCall to Satomi Ido and a few others such as Talia Hale, Derek Hale, and Laura Hale. None have displayed dominance and strength even comparable to the man who refers to himself as Death Destroyer of Worlds. A werewolf so powerful, many thought his greatest weakness, his blindness, would lead to his eventual downfall. Well, they all thought wrong, as he went on to create the All-Star Pack, each member being powerful and unique in their own way, but with so many alphas together all the time, there has to be a leader, right? Today we talk about that leader and discuss why he's the most powerful alpha in the entire series. And if there's one thing to remember, he's not always blind. Deucalion, the former leader of the Alpha Pack and once a man of vision who unfortunately died on it while on his path to redemption, possessed all the usual powers and abilities of an alpha werewolf that you would typically see in the series, except after he became blind at the hands of Gerard and he killed one of his betas who thought he was weak and unfit to continue leading their pack. He learned that an alpha can increase and augment all of their given powers and abilities to stronger and more potent levels as a result of killing all their betas. The scariest part about Deucalion is that we've never technically seen him at his strongest, despite what some people in the community would have you believe. During the events of Lunar Eclipse, which is the Season 3 mid-season finale, which is where a majority of this video is revolved around, Deucalion shifted into his full-powered alpha state, which looked like a more controlled version of Peter's wolf form from Season 1, where his skin turned dark blue-black, his muscle definition became more pronounced, and his face and brow became more rigid than most were creatures. He contended with Derek Hale, who had just lost his alpha spark after healing his sister Cora, and Jennifer Blake, who had been on a tear running through the surviving members of the Alpha Pack like a hot knife through cheese. A dark druid who had to sacrifice 15 innocents with varying traits just to gain enough power to fight him. And even then, she was never close. An example people always like to bring up is the fact that during Season 3, Episode 12, the effects of the lunar eclipse weren't present yet, as it doesn't start until the eclipse actually begins. To that I say you are wrong, as we clearly see it has an effect on all the werewolves before it begins. And 2 episodes prior, during the events of Season 3, Episode 10, The Overlooked, Jennifer was literally, and I mean, oh my God, begging Derek, Scott, and the like for their protection from the Alpha Pack. Literally showing facial expressions of worry, concern, and absolute fear and terror, and hiding behind these werewolves and humans looking like a complete biatch. As soon as she was alone and she saw Kali and Deucalion, she was hightailing out of there. Same thing with the twins. As soon as she saw them, her lackeys, Scott and Derek, were the first to protect her and were the first ones to show up. Embarrassing. If people want to continue to tell me that she's one of the strongest characters in the series, yeah, sure, but not in comparison to the Alpha Pack. Stop the cap. You're lying to yourself. Then 2 episodes later, while every werewolf was terrified because of the lunar eclipse and its effects and the fact that they could slowly start to feel the effects of its presence, and then that's when Jennifer chose to strike, because she was just sitting and ducking until that night to strike. That means and screams to me that she's a lot weaker than we think, and people overhype her too much. Saying she's top 10 strongest, she can body the Beast of Jeviden or some bullshit like that. Nah, get out of here with that shit. Deucalion is also the fastest werewolf in the series. As he moves so quick, he's literally a blur. And we established in the previous video what a blur is. In this case, he sprints from the middle of the distillery to the back to grab Scott in a millisecond, if not less. Also, his roar was so potent and powerful, he forced Scott to transform in a matter of seconds in comparison to when Peter forced him to transform, where he was still visibly showing a level of restraint. There are numerous other things I can mention in regards to Deucalion, but the fact that he's highly resistant to Canema Venom and more things of the sort. But overall, he speaks for himself and he lets his presence and dominance speak for him. But that's the self-proclaimed demon wolf. And if there's one thing I hope you guys learned from this video today, it's that Jennifer Blake is not as strong as you think she is. Not after that episode of complete embarrassment on her part. Looking like Koto Khan, or even worse, Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat X, where she got buried completely. Looking like a complete jobber. This is Jade's Corner. This is the strongest in Teen Wolf, Deucalion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys in the next strongest in Teen Wolf video.